All right, just got done with a little free vacuum action. What do you think about that? If I didn't, because I always hand wash my car, but every once in a while I come to a free vacuum facility and vacuum out for free and I give them $0. Is that, it says free vacuum, so curious what the pulse is on that. Anyways, 4-year review. Had my Model Y for 4 years now. So I'm gonna discuss in this video what I like, what I don't like, and then just like the overall sentiment of the vehicle. Am I gonna get rid of it? How's the ride quality, battery, all that type of stuff. We're gonna discuss everything, starting with the interior. Now I bought this as a 2020 Model Y long range, and I also got the acceleration boost. I didn't pay the $2,000 for the acceleration boost. I used referral credits and got it that way. I have a whole video on that. It'll be linked down below. Really the big decision when I was purchasing this vehicle is, am I gonna go with the 19-inch wheels or am I gonna go with the 20-inch wheels? I went with the 20-inch wheels, and since then I have tested both the 19 and 20-inch wheels on various tires. Here's the difference between the two. The 19-inch wheels, you're gonna get a little bit more comfort, a little bit more range. On the 20-inch wheels, you're gonna get a better looking wheel, in my opinion, and you're gonna get something that has like slightly better steering response, less range, and not as good of ride quality. But they do look really good, and they've also improved the ride quality on both the long range and performance Model Ys since I purchased this in 2020. Now, the other thing that people have asked me, and I've had several texts about this recently with friends of friends who are buying Teslas and need information. And that is, hey, should I buy a used Tesla? What should I look out for in a used Tesla? With Teslas, it's different to me, and I'd say electric cars in general, because the big failure is the battery. There's far less moving parts in an electric vehicle compared to a gas car. Think about the fans, the belts, radiators. Well, these have radiators, but think of all the things that have to go right to make a gas car work. When you actually go to an electric vehicle and look back on a gas car, it's actually remarkable how reliable gas cars are, considering all the things that have to happen that make them go forward. It is really impressive. So with electric cars, far fewer moving parts, and this having, let's see here, this has 72,000 miles on it. Now I just recently, last year, I sold a Porsche Macan S. It had 78 or 79,000 miles on it. And when I would take it to the mechanic annually, I had an option. Do we want to replace these bushings? Do we want to do the spark plugs? You have to do the oil change. You have to do all these things. And when we do the oil change, the car runs better. It just does. It idles differently. Everything about the car is better when you handle maintenance properly. With this, I don't have that worry. The acceleration is still crazy. I mean, it's rip the camera off. The acceleration to me does not get old. I have done some aftermarket things to this, which we will talk about here shortly. But overall, if you're searching for a used Tesla, we'll talk about Model Y specifically. You can look this up on the website. But Model Y specifically, if you have a standard range Model Y, you're looking at 8 years, 100,000 mile warranty on the battery, or 8 years, 120,000 mile warranty on the battery. How do they assess that? Well, if your battery falls below 70% of its original capacity, then you will be eligible to get a replacement battery from Tesla. It's not necessarily a brand new battery, but it's a refurbished battery that meets their standards. So that's how that is handled. Now, my biggest fear when buying this vehicle initially was not charging or anything like that. It was the infotainment system, because essentially all of your controls and everything sits in there. There are no buttons in the car. And I was worried that over time, like a cell phone, as you get updates, it was going to continue to slow down. And then I thought, what happens when it's so old when they stop sending updates? And we've also gotten to the point of where they've reduced the updates because this has the original processor. They've now moved to the AMD Ryzen processor. This has the Intel Atom processor. And this is another thing, if you're buying a used Tesla, I highly recommend getting a 2022 or newer model, because they have the new AMD Ryzen chips. All you have to do is go in, you click the vehicle in the bottom left, and then you click on software, and then you click on additional vehicle information, and in there it will show you your infotainment processor. The Intel Atom is the older one and the slower one, and the newer AMD chip is going to be getting the newer updates. So I'm a little behind in terms of what the new infotainment looks like. I can show you that on my Model 3 Performance. But essentially, this is going to be getting less important updates over time. Still getting updates, still putting new features into the vehicle. On my Rivian R1T, they just added blind spot detection. When When I bought my Model Y in 2020, it did not have that feature, but because it's a software-based vehicle and there's cameras all over the vehicle for security, they added that. So they've done some incredible things over the lifetime of the vehicle that have made me just appreciate getting back in this. And even though I just purchased the new Model 3 Performance, I still get in this and I'm like, hey, this is still good. This is great. And I appreciate the simplicity of it. I also am kind of blown away with the durability of these seats. These seats have been incredibly durable. They are the white ones and people worry that the white gets dirty. White gets dirty just as much as black does. It's just a matter of you seeing it or not. It just scrubs right off. So I've used the Hydrosilex interior cleaner. I've done videos. I'll have that video linked below showing you what I use and how I clean these seats to keep them looking perfect. Don't worry, just get whatever seat you like better and go with that. Don't worry about the cleaning of them. That's very easy. Whether the seats will clean or not shouldn't change what color you're going to go with. So that's another thing I'll say. So the durability on the interior of the vehicle has been excellent. Also, I can't run this channel without the sponsors, and today's video sponsor, Anker, has a new product, the Solex F3800, which we'll talk about right now. This Solex F3800 was designed with plug-and-play backup capability, whether that's for your home or even charging your Tesla. Charging your Tesla is extremely easy. All you have to do is make sure your charge current is set to 25 amps or less on your EV charger settings. To start charging your EV, you just double press this AC button to activate EV charging, and a car icon will appear. Then plug in your EV to the 1450 port and connect it to your EV, and charging will start immediately. This unit has 3.84 kilowatt hours to 26.9 kilowatt hour expandable capacity with up to 6 expansion batteries. You can scale up to 12 kilowatts or 53.8 kilowatt hours for extended power outages, and it also has a 2400 watt solar input, allowing for a charge of 0 to 80% in just 1.5 hours by sunlight. You can monitor your energy intelligently via the app and connect with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. This unit also has long-lasting LFP batteries and a 5-year hassle-free warranty upon registration. Anker uses industry-leading high-quality components, ensuring 10 years of product life. Now, you can pick up this and all of the accessories, the solar panels, everything that comes with it right on Amazon.com. I'll have that all linked in the description. Anker, thank you for sending me this unit and for sponsoring this video. Now back to it. The other issue, the other just thing that's just fantastic, and I hate the word fantastic, I never use it with the Model Y, but the Model Y, this family right here in the Subaru, nice Subaru, right? But doesn't have remote start, and the lady had 2 kids, and the one kid just got in the car and goes, "Mom, it's hot." And I was thinking, son, well, kid, if I was your dad, we'd have a cooled car by the time you got back to it. So just having the feature keep in the infotainment system. There's keep, there's dog mode, and there's camp mode. These features in the software that I use literally every time I'm in the car, especially in Phoenix where it's really hot. If I'm running in the grocery store for less than 10 minutes, throw it on keep. The car's able to maintain its temperature. You have camp modes. That way, if you're somewhere it's going to get to 20 degrees overnight, you can set it to a certain temperature. There's just so many features built into this that you actually use that I really enjoy. Whereas other cars, that have luxury features like massaging seats, it's like, yeah, but it's just kind of like poking your back. It's not like it's something that you're going to use and get something out of. Whereas this, I'm able to maintain comfort, or if I pick up things at one store and go to a different store and they need to stay cool, they can do that. You wouldn't leave a gas car running. I mean, you could, but just a huge waste of gas, highly inefficient. Whereas these are incredibly efficient. Let's have a drink. Yeah. That's nice. Spring water, I just hope it's not from an Arizona spring, because the water here tastes like rubber. Tastes like a used rubber, basically. Also, while we're sitting here in this parking lot, I'd like to address something. This guy right here, he's gonna jam his cart in between someone's bumper. I'd like to address something. I said in previous videos that how annoying it is when people just jam their carts everywhere, when really they could just take an extra minute and put it back in the carousel and make it better for everyone. And people were arguing with me. They're like, that's someone's job. It's like, no, their job's to take the carts out of the carousel and put them back in the store, not run all over the parking lot like a clown. So I can't believe, but it just shows you someone will support any side of any argument, because that's just what the internet is. But let's continue on with the Model Y review. Now, as far as the exterior of their vehicle goes, I have done various things, has unplugged performance wheels, it's lowered, but I have put on these Hankook Ion Evo all-season SUV tires. These are made specifically for EVs. They have the sound absorber foam on the inside. They also put EV here to make sure you know they are, they support the EV community. But it's been an incredible tire. Not only the forged wheels are great because they're incredibly light. I also just recently had atomic wheels on here if you're looking for a forged wheel, a truly forged wheel at a lower price point. So I have those as well. But this tire has been incredibly quiet and comfortable. I highly recommend this tire, or just go right back with the OEM tire. But they're starting to put these Hankook Ion Evos on the Tesla Model Y performances from the factory. So it shows how good they are that Tesla has validated themselves to actually put on their vehicles. From an exterior standpoint though, I think it's a good looking car. I don't think it's the best looking car in the world, but I think it looks solid. And there's so much functionality to it, having storage space up here, having storage space in the rear compartment. I've done some PPF. iPhone's filled up with storage. Now, a quick overview of some of the changes that they've made. The newer models, like this area is carpeted, and that makes them actually a little quieter on the inside. You can see this is all just hard plastic, and they've done a lot of, and even this on the new ones, that's all carpeted, whereas in this one it's plastic. It's very hollow in here, and because of that you get the echo and extra road noise, whereas the new Model Ys are a lot better in that sense. I also have this sunshade here. This is 59 bucks and free shipping, plus my code will give you 10% off at vion.com. This is incredible. They also have, if you need to change your air filters, they have really good HEPA air filters. That's what I have in this as well. But again, like, look at how massive this back seat is. Now, I do have 2 kids, and having the kids in the back here really makes you push your seats all the way up to the front. My wife and I are both 6 feet tall, so the passenger gets kind of jammed as well as the driver if you have like toddler age children, so that can be a problem. But there hasn't been a ton of huge updates on the Model Y. The big one is maybe coming next year. No one actually knows. Everyone's speculating on that. But it's just, that's nice. From all the tire testing I've done, I've jammed a few tires up there. Gotta clean that up, But get that sunshade flush. Can't be advertising a sunshade and not have it be sitting flush. There we go. Now, sails are up. Sails are up. You can see how flush it sits. In my opinion, you should have a sunshade for your car. The one from Tesla is like $105, and it's perforated, so like the heat comes through it. This changes how the AC works and everything like that. That was another complaint that I had, but now it works perfectly. I've talked about the floor mats. These are from 3D Mats. These are their premier mats. Those are very expensive. They're carpeted. I have a discount Gjeebs 3D 40 for them, or Gjeebs 3D 10 for their Kagoo ones. So 3D Mats has the best floor mats. Sorry, we're just gonna do a bunch of advertisements right now. Back to the vehicle. Let's talk about the tint. So I have ceramic tint from Expel. I went with 20 in the rear and 35 in the front, so you can kind of see the difference there. The rear glass comes dark from the factory, but I wanted to actually put a tint on it to give it the additional protection. I didn't tint the roof. Didn't want to do that because it traps too much heat in it. That's why I went with a sunshade. But again, just the functionality and space of this vehicle, it really is a do-it-all vehicle. I guess another thing we can talk about, these seat back protectors. These ones are from DEDC. You can get these on Amazon. They just have a bunch of pockets. And then this one's more of a stylish one. It has the suede from PimpmyEV. And I'll have those linked in the description as well. So generally, those links in the description, I am earning a commission from them. That's how I'm able to run this YouTube channel. So if you don't want me to earn money from that, just don't use the discount code, and I won't earn anything, but you'll get a nice product. Kind of what I've done over the years with my YouTube channel is I've just stuck with the same brands and helped them enhance their products. Things like software, things like that, I'll advertise, kind of whatever. But as far as the accessories go, I've had these for a long time, in tens of thousands of miles, and really been able to use them. Another topic that is commonly brought up with electric vehicles is their weight and wearing tires down quickly. Out of my first set of tires, I got 36,000 miles, and I feel like that's kind of normal. And also, tire wear is going to vary depending on how you drive. Now, if you want this car if you want to maximize your tire wear, then I recommend driving in chill mode, because it just reduces the 0 to 60 and torque curve by a ton. It takes the 0 to 60 up to like 7.2 seconds. And so it just rips your tires apart less. So that's what I recommend, as well as getting them rotated every 5,000 miles. Also, getting an all-season tire as compared to a soft summer tire. Summer tire is going to wear a ton. So I got a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. I got about 27,000 miles out of those. They still actually have some on them. So you're able to, you know, get decent mileage out of the tires. But again, that's going to depend on how you drive. My friend years ago, he had a Focus ST. He got 7,000 miles out of his tires on that thing. That's because he drove like a lunatic. So it's all depending on how you drive. On the internet, you're going to see the most extreme things like, I got only 11,000 miles. It's like, okay, were you driving on a NASCAR circuit to work every day? Is your wife in my 600-pound life? What's going on here that has you getting 11,000 miles out of your tires? That's insane. So look at your tire pressure, make sure your tire pressure is always the same. You could change your drive mode. You know, just, you know, don't be an idiot. If you're an idiot, then you'll probably, you know. So idiot, tire wear, non-idiot, normal wear. That's basically the chart that I've come up with. The other thing we need to talk about with the Model Y in terms of purchasing it, don't push yourself to purchase it because you're like, oh, this is the last time, this deal, whatever. They've made so many Model Ys, and you can even get them used private sale. Again, understanding what the warranty is and what's covered. In Arizona, at least, and there's other states, I don't know what they are, you'll have to look up to where you're at locally. But in Arizona, if you buy a used car that is privately sold, so not by a dealer of any sort, just from an individual, you don't have to pay sales tax on it. And that's not just for within the state. Like years ago when I bought my BMW M2, I bought it from a guy in Utah, bought it for $46,000, and my out the door price was $46,000 because I don't have to pay sales tax on it. So that's a nice little loophole to save you even more money on it. You can kind of look that as then you can go and put the nice charger in your house if that's something that you want to do. But that's another way to get a good deal on a Model Y. But they're just, I think they're just such great vehicles. And again, I'm not someone who's like, we need to go EV to save the planet, like that kind of nonsense. Because here's my thing with that, is have you ever seen a volcano erupt or a forest fire and what that emits into the atmosphere? And then like launching a rocket into space, like what that emits into the atmosphere. And then you're telling me that I need to buy an electric vehicle to save it? You're telling me, the consumer, the guy down on the streets, that I need to buy an electric vehicle. That's the concern. It's stupid. They are cheaper to run. I don't like this car because it's electric. I like it because it's enhanced by being electric. It's a good vehicle. It's not a good electric vehicle, it's a good vehicle. And that's what a lot of these companies miss, like the Nissan Ariya, the Subaru Solterra. They're fine, but they're not, like, I'd rather just have the gas Subaru. Like it doesn't make my life any easier because it's electric. This overall to me is just a great vehicle, and I think everyone should consider one for a second vehicle or primary vehicle, because around town there's nothing better. If you're going on a road trip, all you do is type in your destination and it takes you there. And I've never had an issue with it. I'm sure there are instances where maybe it's a little inconvenient in terms of your routing. I've never had to reroute because of a charger. And if I have, it's been not noticeable. And the other thing is, if you have kids, you need to stop every few hours to eat, get out of the car, go to the bathroom, stretch. So yes, the road trips take longer. No one's arguing that. But it's also like the fatigue at the end of a road trip is far less, in my opinion. You pull over, you pull the charger off, you plug in, you're back in your car, and within that less than 30-second time, you are up and charging and ready to go. And you generally in 15 to 30 minutes, your car is good to go. So you're able to go to the bathroom, eat, walk around, and your car is like, you get in, it's either ready or ready in the next 5 minutes. It's just far simpler than you think. I think people are more freaked out about it than they need to be, but that's how change is with anything. So again, Anchor, thank you for sponsoring this video. I hope this was helpful to you guys. But if you have a Model Y, you're gonna need to do maintenance with it, and that's why you need to click this video right here. If you've already done your maintenance, then this video right here showing you my accessories review over 4 years, you will really enjoy either of those videos depending on what you need.